Rebecca Loos is seen for the first time since David Beckham documentary aired and wants him to man up and apologize for hurting his wife. Rebecca Loos wants David Beckham to man up and publicly apologize for hurting his wife, a source has claimed. The yoga instructor and former glamour model has told friends she is upset that the former England captain never said sorry in his self-produced Netflix documentary. And she went on to accuse him of playing the victim, it is claimed. The 48-year-old and his wife Victoria, 49, both spoke about the fallout from his alleged affair with mother of two Ms. Loos for the first time in the Beckham series. The father of four seemed close to tears at one point as he described how the 2004 scandal came close to destroying their marriage. But watching from her home in rural Norway, 46-year-old Ms. Loos was frustrated at his failure to directly address the claims, according to a close friend. The alleged affair, which he has always dismissed, is said to have taken place when he was playing for Real Madrid in the Spanish capital. The friend said, Rebecca thinks David should man up and publicly apologize for the pain he caused his wife instead of playing the victim. He has always described the affair claims as ludicrous, but he has never confirmed or denied that one took place. Fans were stunned when the Beckhams finally spoke out about the scandal in the four-part Netflix series, which also documents their glamorous 1999 wedding in Ireland and his football career with Manchester United and England. Old TV footage and newspaper cuttings on the alleged affair are shown during the documentary, made by the couple's own production company. And while not going into detail about the accusations, David did speak candidly about how it affected their marriage. Explaining that he felt physically sick every day, he revealed, every time that we woke up we felt there was something else. We both felt at the time that we were not losing each other but drowning. Victoria also fought back tears when asked if it was the hardest time in their marriage. 100%, she said. It was the hardest period for us. Because it felt like the world was against us. David also admitted he still doesn't know how they got through the crisis, but said he and his former Spice Girl wife knew they had to fight for their family. He added that they felt like they were drowning when their high-profile marriage was in the headlines for months. Though Ms. Loos has often publicly claimed she had no regrets about telling her story, another source close to her says she feels the deal with six-figure sum the now-defunct newspaper News of the World paid her in 2004 was a huge mistake. Ms. Loos was a PR executive living in Madrid when she was appointed as an assistant to Beckham after he was signed by Real Madrid. She was moved on to menial duties by the management company she worked for when the alleged 4-month-long affair emerged. Beckham denied the relationship and said he was happily married at the time, but has never taken legal action against her. As the Netflix docuseries has dragged Ms. Loos back into the limelight after nearly 20 years, friends say that she is frustrated that the scandal has threatened to intrude on her anonymous rural existence. There's no doubt that the mother of two is now very content with her idyllic life as a yoga teacher happily married to a Norwegian doctor living against the backdrop of stunning mountain scenery. A friend who has known her for years told Mail Online, now when she thinks back, she does feel it was a mistake to tell her story in the News of the World, but she does forgive her younger self's mistakes. She also made some questionable decisions with her career after that, taking part in reality TV shows such as the one where she was filmed in that scene with a pig, and she probably didn't receive the best advice from people around her such as the late Max Clifford. She certainly paid a heavy price for those misjudgments. In 2006, there was X Factor, Battle of the Stars judge Sharon Osbourne, who viciously urged Rebecca to try doing tomorrow's performance with your knickers on to warm up her voice. Then she took part in Channel 5's 2008 series The Farm, in which Rebecca was filmed masturbating a pig to collect semen to inseminate a sow. Of course, it made headlines. Because it was me, of course, Rebecca has said. I'm always going to have that sex-obsessed label, because I'm bisexual and I've had an affair with a married man. But Rebecca's friend pointed out to Mail Online that at least one good thing did emerge from her otherwise questionable reality TV career. She met her husband Sven, the love of her life, through another reality TV program, so it's not all bad, added the friend, and Rebecca's much more about counting her blessings than raking over her regrets. In October 2008, Rebecca was taking part in the Dutch version of 71 Degrees North, on which handsome Norwegian Dr. Sven Kristjarskaya was the show's medic, and the pair fell in love. They married soon after Rebecca fell pregnant, though she kept her own surname, and settled in mountainous southern Norway, where she gave birth in July 2009. The couple now have 2 sons, Magnus, 14, and Liam, 11, whom Rebecca refers to as the My Little Vikings, and the family live with their English setter Mila in the ski resort of Hemsedal, known as the center of the Scandinavian Alps, a 3-hour drive from Oslo. Madrid-born diplomat's daughter Rebecca, who is part Dutch, has taken to the mountain life in style, and she posts frequent gorgeous vistas from her dog walks. To the delight of some of her 24,000 Instagram followers, she has also scaled the 20 highest peaks overlooking the valley, and bared her breasts to the alpine trolls at the top of each one, though each of the topless mountaintop shots was tastefully taken from behind. That certainly wasn't the case for her celebrated stint as a Playboy cover girl in 2006, but in her own throwback to that episode when the Empire's founder Hugh Hefner died in 2017, she was unapologetic, posting, R.I.P. at Hugh Hefner // an honor to have been your cover girl. Met you and party at your mansion Red Heart #Hugh Hefner #legend #Playboy cover #11 years ago #the good old times #Rebecca Loos. Similar glamour shots also appeared in lads mags including Nuts, FHM, and Zoo Weekly. Rebecca's past, scandalous or otherwise, is clearly of little interest to fellow residents of the sleepy rural street overlooking the center of Hemsedal, where she and her family live in a large, detached house. It's difficult to shock Norwegians, especially with anything to do with sexuality, chuckled one neighbor. I think people here have a vague idea that something happened with David Beckham, but it's a long time ago, and Rebecca, like Sven, is part of the community here now, and that's what counts. While still displaying her enviable physique and flexibility, Rebecca's enthusiastic Instagram posts these days are a wholesome mixture of Ashtanga yoga and vegan food, mixed in with glorious mountain walks gathering wild mushrooms and mindfulness. She frequently shares a grounded approach to life with her followers, urging them on with quotes such as, "Your journey to well-being starts with you," or "Embracing autumn's beauty with a full-body work out on our mountain cabin deck." After learning Ashtanga, known as a dynamic form of yoga synchronizing breathing with movements, in 2017, Rebecca opened her own studio in Hemsedal, called Links Well. She wrote in her Mountain Life online blog, "Waking up, dropping off the kids, driving to my own little studio, and spreading the joy of yoga is an absolute luxury." But she also conceded that sleepy Hemsedal might not be fully ready for yoga, observing, "The launch of Links Well was a success and we are slowly getting in members. It really helped to offer free classes. Hemsedal is a small town and many residents don't know what yoga is." Sadly, the studio has since closed. Undaunted, in 2021 she teamed up with fellow instructors Tina Ostby and Lindsay Trader, forming Yoga Hemsedal, but last August, the group's Facebook page announced, "Our founder and managing director at Rebecca.Loos is taking a step back from daily management of the studio and will be teaching weekends and holidays only." Lindsay and Tyne are taking over the daily management of the studio and weekly classes. A few months later, Rebecca mysteriously disappeared from the Facebook posts and the weekly schedule altogether, until in June of this year, Tyne and Lindsay announced rather obliquely, "We've had some processes and challenges the last year, which taught us many things, both about business, relations, and ourselves. It was at times hard, frustrating, and confusing. But trusting the process and each other, things worked out. We want Yoga Hemsedal to be a place where you can feel safe to be yourself, come as you are, wherever you are in life. You can be stiff as a stick, bendy as a snake, or something in between." Like many other businesses, the pandemic hit yoga instructors hard, at least for those offering face-to-face classes. In January 2021, Rebecca was photographed in full PPE conducting COVID tests near Oslo and was praised by her followers. She still works part-time in husband Sven's GP surgery in the town. Apparently now teaching yoga alone in Hemsedal, she runs online classes from home as well as £19 8-time in-person yoga sessions at a local hotel with panoramic views high above Hemsedal. Also on offer are private yoga classes and massages at £90 or £75 respectively per hour. She declined to speak to Mail Online about the Beckham's documentary, but she has certainly made her feelings clear on the whole matter in the past. Most pointedly, she has said, "He was the one who was married. He was the one who seduced me. He was the one who broke the promises and behaved badly, yet I was the one who was vilified." She claimed she suffered from depression and had been altered by the ordeal and used for ratings and notoriety, complaining she will always have that tag of being the girl who alleged the affair with Beckham. She has admitted feeling powerless and said that, with hindsight, "I wasn't always given the best advice and I didn't always make the best decisions. I know some people will always think I'm a terrible person," she has said. "Sometimes you make decisions that if you look back, you'd change. But I can't change things, so I deal with it the best I can." In her most recent public pronouncement on her blog, Rebecca made it clear her future would be in her beloved mountains with her family. She said, "There's nowhere else we'd rather be. Our children are the happiest in this environment, and we've made friendships that have lasted through thick and thin. The recent challenges we have been through these last years have only made our bond stronger and our decision clearer. Aside from parenting and some remote work, I plan on teaching yoga, both online and in person, massaging, and working part-time at the medical office. Spending as much of my free time as possible on my yoga mat and out exploring the mountains. I am determined to make life work here. By focusing on the positives and practicing gratitude, we've come to appreciate all that mountain life has to offer."